Wij zijn live op die microfoon. Ik ga nog even snel geluidstest doen. Maar volgens mij is dit wel echt stukken beter.
Geluidstest natuurlijk.
Hallo, hallo, ik ben Thijs Hamstra. Ik ben hier live vanuit de Spiegel.
Don't bring alcohol. Dat is wel heerlijk. Ja, helemaal. Waar heb je kitten neergezet? Oh ja, dat is wel nog bezig.
Kitten. Kit kan. Hier is wel iets niet helemaal goed. Oké, nu gaat het wel goed. Test 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oké, als ik hier sta en ik zeg ik ben Herbert, hoor ik dat het nog. Ja, is prima. Ja, ik kan niet. Hallo, hallo, test 1, 2, 3, 5. Ja, kunnen we beginnen?
Ja? Je hebt geluid binnen? Mooi. Nou, dan? Yes. So hello everyone.
Wait, small break. Moesten we de tekst uitzetten?
Oké, nu kan het wel.
Hashtag ik iedere keer gehad.
Oh, dit gaat best voor mij. So hello everyone. I'm being here. I'll tell you a little bit about Estine, and then Edward will tell you about the study program and important stuff. So I'm going to tell you why you should become. Oh wait, you have already become members, right?
Everyone.
Yes, nice, good going. So I'm going to tell you what you actually signed up for. So first, we are your Candy board, which will mean that in a week we'll become the board of Estine. So we'll be people that we always be at Estine. We've basically taken a year out of our study to, well, look after the association. So introduce us real quick. This is me, I'm Jan, I'm the candidate chairman. This is Timon, he's the candidate secretary and educational affairs. This is Stefan, he's the candidate treasurer. And this is Jenny, she's the candidate external affairs and internal affairs. So then, what is Estine? Well, this is a very official thing from our statute. But yeah, what it really is a study association for students that study advanced technology or nanotechnology, and it's a place where they're all welcome, where we make friends and we have a lot of fun together, but also do serious study-related stuff. So then, yeah, as you can see, we organize a lot of events. We have a gala every year, which is a lot of fun. You should go. We have excursions to companies, which you may work at one day. We are a place where you can order books, get free coffee, and we do things like organize an introduction camp for first years, which is you now. So you'll get to see that pretty soon. Yeah, so what we do, we're a place where you can order books with a discount. Basically, the discount is that much that you'll like get back your fee that you pay for being a member, which is only 11 euros or something, I think. So, so good. Then we are a place where you can send in your study complaints and that study-related stuff. We have a committee that deals with all that and like talks with the teachers and the program directors and to get all things organized. We get free coffee, a place for you to relax. We're in Carré. We have a brand new room and the home base. It's huge. You can eat, you have snacks. We have a microwave and an oven now. We have TV. You can chill there. You can go there when you're relaxed. Yeah, we also arrange activities, as like I already showed you. There's about like one activity a week, maybe more. The coming month it will be more. So yeah, a lot of fun for when you want to do something besides studying. Awesome excursions, and there's also a yearly trip abroad. It's somewhere in Europe. This year it didn't go on, but we would have gone to Spain. So nice. This year we're probably looking to still go to Spain. So I hope we can. And there's a lot of fun committees that organize a lot of stuff that you can join, which I'll tell more about now. Being active in a committee. Being active in a committee is a lot of fun. For example, well, half of you already know the boss, which of course, the boss is an amazing group. Me and Thijs, for example, are in the KitKat, which is the committee that organizes this. And I can tell you, it's just amazing. You have a lot of fun organizing stuff, like your fellow students, you do stuff that actually kind of matters, you know, you actually work towards something. It's very good. In the first years, the committees that you can join don't take up that much time. Like it's, yeah, 1 to 3 hours a week, most of them, and those hours are mostly even spent on meetings, so it's not even like really work. You'll get skills that you won't learn anywhere else, like organizing stuff and well, getting actual responsibility about things. You'll know how many things are really done last minute and are really not that well organized, even though they seem really well organized. Then yeah, it also looks good in your CV, because well, as I said, you get a lot of skills that you otherwise wouldn't have, and people know that, people want it. More, you'll see tomorrow at the Get to Know Your Association games. You'll get to meet a lot of committees, be presenting a little bit, you can play a little game, have fun knowing the committees that you can join and that are doing things for you at Estine. Then coming up in the coming month, we have a NICOT, which this year is a little different than previous years, because normally in the first week of the weekend of October, first weekend of October we have a camp for the whole weekend where we do a lot of fun stuff with the first years. This year it's a little different. We're going to do something on Saturday. We're going to do fun activities, and the whole weekend has been postponed to February, I think. So you will still get the weekend, and you actually get a little extra day. So you're lucky. And the coming month we're looking to organizing extra activities, also made especially for first years, because well, your kicking was a little less, and other, you missed a lot, this summer, and we want to get you involved in Nestine, and we want to get to know you guys better. So that's why we're looking to organize special activities, which we'll hear about soon, I'm pretty sure. That's it. That's it for my presentation of Nestine. Woo!
So, welcome also from my point. I'm Herbert Gomez, I'm Program Director, and how many of you were actually on over day? So, a few, then you probably saw me also over there. Then you also know what a Program Director does.
Open days. He talks at the open days.
Good one. I'm responsible for the content and the quality of the program. So, what defines advanced technology? What should he learn? What did he not learn?
I remember reading something about Leonardo da Vinci on the site.
Yes.
When I was first interested in studying AT.
Yeah.
And I think all of us will definitely be able to get at that level because of this course.
Exactly. Okay, thank you, Thijs.
Hi.
So, you see we're now getting in the third group, so it's going to be a little bit more, we already did this, so it's easier to communicate. So, that's the virtue of splitting it in three. So, I'm going to go to a few different things. Introduction of staff. I'm going to talk a little bit about study advice, content of the program, what we changed. And so, what you do group parents cannot tell you because they didn't experience this. So, that's also important. What we expect from you and some practical matters. So, let's start off with first my photograph, my office in Carré. So, a few years ago actually, but it was the best photograph I could find. So, that's about me. Eline is our program coordinator. Because it's not easy to say, well, this is the program, it's nicely written down, but then we have to get it actually done. Now, that's a big summary of what Eline is doing. Because there are many things in which she plays a role. Getting timetables accurate, make sure that grades are there, that teachers with very strange questions are answered, students with all kinds of problems related to organizational things. These are things for which Eline is responsible. And we have a secretary, and we are all together sitting in Carré since 2 months. So we really enjoyed sitting over there. If you ask, where do we sit in Carré? If you find Essetine, we're just across the hall. So, first find them, get a cup of coffee or whatever, and then you can find us. Yep, so that's one. Program information, of course, contact information also available through the website, etc. But the persons you're really going to meet first time is the study advisors. So, now I'm going to give Pauline my clicker because she's going to introduce herself and her colleague.
Hi everyone, I am Florine Looking, and this is my colleague Simone from Lin. We are the study advisors for AT. I am the study advisor for the first year, so you'll definitely see me in a while. And Simone is the study advisor for the second and third years of AT. What do? We are here to help you with all kinds of things. We are here to talk to you about your study progress, about your planning, so anything you want to know about how you need to do things, what time frame, how do I tackle this problem, come and see us. Personal problems can be all kinds of things, can be illness, family issues, anything at all. Special circumstances also, so if you have a physical disability, dyslexia, there are lots of examples to think of. Do come and see us because it's important for us to know if there's anything that you have that we need to adapt your program for. Choosing a master's, so if for example after a while you are thinking about what do I need to do next, what are my interests, you can talk to Simone about that as well. Meetings and information is always confidential, so anything that you tell us will remain with us unless it needs to be known by other people. That doesn't happen a lot. You can also find us near Astetine and the program director and program coordinator, so all close to each other. In September there will be a meeting as a short introduction, so all first year students will get an invitation from me for a short talk. So that will happen as well. And what's good to know is if you want to make an appointment, you can use the planner, so you can always see when we are available. And you can also send us an email. And we both have access to that inbox, so there's always someone to help you if you have any problems or if you want to know anything, you can contact us. Okay. I'll give you back.
Yeah, thank you. Now, as Corinne said, conversations you have with her or with Simone are confidential. Of course, they write things down. We cannot assess what they write down, but they can step in for each other. That's very important. And at the moment they will talk to me or somebody else, they will also tell you it's important that this is known. And you will first have to agree that it is no longer confidential to the party. For some things, it's simply, all I need to know is you have to arrange something. I have to arrange that somebody has education in a different group at a different time slot, that there's an extra possibility to make a test. I don't have to know what it is, why it is. Teachers don't have to know why it is. They can have to discuss with them. But the moment they say this is important to do, I arrange this. Yeah? So that's our task. They tell me what I should do. Yeah? But that's strict. But as I already said, some things, everything is confidential until you agree we live confidentiality. And it's important that sometimes this has to be lived. And it's not only about sad occasions, what happens. It's not going to be very likely, but we've also had 25th year anniversary weddings of parents. Very important, only happens once. So you don't have the day off. But there's a test. Can we reschedule things? Very often that is possible. It's very unlikely that it's not possible to do anything. Yeah? But those, so both for positive, for happy occasions, as well as for a little bit more sad occasions, they will be able to see what can be done or should be done. Okay. Program. We have a program which consists of 12 modules, and each module is 10 weeks. Which means that in the first year you will get 4 modules, and each module is focused around a very certain theme, and we have both theory and application in there. Now, the whole group of modules that we have are like this, and very important is we have electives sitting over here. There's an elective course in here, and this is completely elective. There's a very individual program over here. And what will fit you, what is possible, depends on what you do afterwards. Now, to guide you in this, that's where Simone's very important task is, to guide you in this process. What do you like, what do you want to do, and what is required to get to into a certain master. In our first module, we have 4 courses. We have a mechanics course, and in the mechanics course we will talk about velocity, acceleration, forces, torques, Newtonian mechanics, those kind of things. And it's a little bit of things you already had at high school, and we will go through them again, and we'll probably go at a much faster speed as you know from high school, because everything has to be done in 10 weeks, and that's it. We don't have any time for this, so that's in there. But if you miss one of these topics, you should be able to catch up. And we've seen students before that didn't have certain topics at high school and were able to catch up. So that's one. In calculus, so that's the mathematics course, that's a very different thing. We simply start where you stopped at high school, and we will continue. And it's going to continue in a much faster pace as you're accustomed to. And we're going to talk about differentiation, differential equation, complex numbers, vectors. And this is needed for the mechanics lectures. That's also where the new things in mechanics come, because we use new mathematics inside. Or should be new mathematics for you. This course, Calculus 1, goes a little bit crisscross to the book that you will have for this. Why? Well, the course was specifically designed for us, for electrical engineering and applied physics. They needed these topics for their theoretical course, and for us that's mechanics. Then we have a laboratory practice, so sitting in a lab, doing experiments, using equipment, learning how to do an error analysis, and there are programming skills attached to that. And the last thing is we have a project, and this project is about mechanics. And we dubbed the project Smartphonics because we will use a smartphone to do the actual measurements. There are lots of sensors in the smartphone, accelerometers, gyroscopes. There's a magnetic sensor inside. You can do proximity measurements. You can even make movies with it seems. So you can analyze movies, how it goes, and you can study with that a lot of mechanical phenomena. And the nice thing about this is, I expect that every one of you has a smartphone. Now, we will supply each group with a smartphone, a very cheap one, which should suffice. So it's not too bad when it breaks, but still. That's the nice thing about mechanics. Sometimes you have to drop things, so you have to be careful with that.
I think I broke a Segway once in Module 6.
That's one thing, but there's also an egg project this afternoon, right?
Yes.
So this is an excellent introduction to what we need over here.
Yeah, you can also try using your smartphone instead of the egg, but I wouldn't recommend. We're not paying for them.
Yeah, okay. But you will learn more about this at another time. Tomorrow we have, in the morning we have an introduction to the courses, well, to the teachers of the courses, because some of the teachers will be simply online. Some of them you will actually see in the flash on the practical or with the project, but some of them is just online. And tomorrow morning many of the teachers will be there, and we will have individual conversations between you and the teachers that are individual in groups of 4. It's a little bit more individual than we're sitting now at this moment. So, yeah. But that gives you an idea about who is the teacher, and the teacher gives an idea about who are you. Because at this moment we just know a selection of names. We had to decide what do we do on campus and what do we do online. We got as a message we can have 40% of our courses can be on campus, and then we have to decide what do we do on campus. Now, very simple, practicals you have to do on campus because you're going to make use of equipment that is here on campus, and that's important to do. Construction part of the project, that's mechanical construction, we provide tools for that, that's here on campus. We have a general purpose tutorial and some of the assessments. Some of the assessments, especially those assessments which actually require a closed book. At this moment the lecturers from the mathematics department tell us we are not able to make an open book exam because it's too easy to Google what the answers. So we have to do that a little bit, and we have to see how this goes. Yeah. So general purpose. In practicals and projects we have 4 groups. The 4 groups will be mainly along the lines of the do groups. So the people you know now, you will get stuck with for the first quartile. If you don't like them, switch do group, if that's still possible. If you like them, great. Yeah. That also means that you will practically not see the other students from the program, and that's a big miss. So what we did for this is very simple. We made a general purpose tutorial. And that's a very specific one, because what I heard of this moment, the largest room we can get is for 69 people. Now, we have already 71 people enlisted, so we can never fit you all into one room. So what we did now is we made a general purpose tutorial. It's an evening one. It's on Wednesday evening, 6:30 till 8. You're free to come. You can also say, I'm not coming. You can come. What you do is up to you. You can say, well, I'm going to do a little bit of homework. You can also say, well, I want to have a cup of coffee at Esther time, because we are located that in a room which is quite near to the to Esther time, to our home base, and to the staff. But some of them will probably not be there, and some of them will be there. Yeah. Very general, but at least it gives you the opportunity to also interact with other students, and we also appreciate if TAs and people like that will also show up. So that at least it's a possibility to have an interaction. That's the best we could do for, at this moment, for the general social part. The online, well, everything else is online. Lectures, tutorials, mechanics, calculus is online lectures. Some of the assessments we will do online. We have some experience with this. It can be a hassle, but that's how it is. And the self-study part of the project, and also the programming skills, will be online. Now, the timetable we made is exactly the same we made timetables last year. It's simply list each day. These are the topics at 9 o'clock, at 11 o'clock, at 2 o'clock, and at 4 o'clock. The only difference is, for some we have rooms, like the practicals, you have to be over there. For the project you have to be over there. And for the online lectures, it simply says, this is online pre-recorded, or this is online live. Well, it tells you what the difference is. It gives you, if it's online pre-recorded, you can say, well, I'm going to do this at a different moment. That's why it's pre-recorded. But at least gives you a sense of what we expect you to do at what time. And it's up to you to stick to this. Except for the things that are on campus. The practicals and the construction part of the project. Because these are the times that are available for this. Okay. Now, it can happen that you get sick. Also, last year people got sick. It's nothing new. The only thing is, what do you do? It's also basically the same thing as last year. First of all, stay at home. Most material we already have online. That's the benefit. You don't have to go to campus to follow a lecture, etc. You can do this nicely online. Okay. But let us know that you're sick. If it's just a day or something and you have only the project and you have nothing that's on campus scheduled, okay, but certainly if it takes a little bit more time, let us know. And let us know means mail Eline, so that we as program know, mail the study advisors, because they will keep a record server at the moment we get to assessments, things like this. We have to make changes. And if it's a campus activity, tell your lecturer. Most students always inform their fellow students, very good, but that's up to you to do that. Well, at least these 3 people inform them. Because the moment you inform them, we can try to make a solution. If you miss an on-campus activity, if you miss the practical, you can see if there's another time slot where you can fit in and then you can do the things you missed. We can even say, well, you missed it, but you can pass without doing that. Yeah? But we can only do this the moment we know that is the case. So, and what we do not know, we cannot mend. Yeah? So, inform us the moment things happen. So, that's all. What did we learn? We learned something in spring from, of course, March 14 we closed down as university and had to be up and running again officially on March 23rd, but we had things running again March 16th. Why? Being prepared helps. Having active lectures helps. And we learned a lot of this. The first thing was really like, how? Now we have to think about different ways how to do things and have a lot of experience. In the last quartile, we were already a little bit better. But these are the main things. Lecturers and you are very resourceful in how to get around things, how to make use of things. Teaching assistants can bridge gaps. Because they are much easier to access for you as a lecturer. It's much easier to say to Thijs, I have a problem, than to come to me and say, I have a problem. That's not true, but still it feels like this. Many of the things work because we knew each other previously. We knew how different students worked and what they needed. At this moment, we just have a list of names of you. The dogroup players already know you a little bit, and we also have to get to know you a little bit better and to see what is possible. So, assessment at home can be very stressful and can be very relaxing. I didn't have any complaints last quarter about the exam hall was too cold, it was too hot, the coffee was too expensive, there was no tea. These all things you can arrange yourself. That can be very relaxing. Except at the end of the test, you have to send in the results. Now, you have to scan, you have to upload, and we got a few uploads of previous exams because they chose the wrong document. So then we also have to see how we can mend this. My math teachers, especially my theory teachers, said the most difficult thing is to communicate is math formulas. And yes, I've had students that hold up a piece of paper in front of the camera with a formula on this to discuss this. That's awful. I also went myself so far as to also write it down on a formula on a sheet and hold up the sheet. So what to do about this? Well, solution is very simple. It's a drawing tablet. Because then you can simply write down a formula. You can make a sketch. Now, I don't know who of you has a drawing tablet. Well, I actually know all of you have it because you get this drawing tablet. So, this, yes, also we have one for you. We have also one for you. For all students of AT, we have a drawing tablet to facilitate it. We got them that cheap that we say this is your property now. But at the same time, this also means that we think, we have a test, you should use it. Then you should have it. Yeah? But we think this helps to communicate. So that's one thing. But this also gives us the flexibility the moment we say, we have to change things. Also, we thought about the project, how can we make sure that when we go to a more strict regime, when we go back to lockdown, how can we continue with the project? I think we got this the moment we say we go to smartphonics. We can do a little bit of it. The most difficult thing was the practicals, because that requires equipment. Now, we have a solution for this because we have this thing. This is a brand new one. This is a so-called oscilloscope signal generator. You dogroup parents will tell you what it is, what it means. And this thing you will use on the practicals floors. In principle, we have 100 of these. So if things go wrong, you will be able to borrow one and continue with your practicals at home. This is certainly something we learned from the previous quartile. This is the essential instrument that you will need. And we can use this throughout the first year. Yeah? This is how we get a little bit resilient to whatever happens. It also makes that we think you can be a little bit more creative than the student before you because you have more facilities. That's the upside. Okay. What do we expect from you? It's a difficult situation, so it can be that we have to adapt things. We thought of a lot of things, and we thought of a lot of things we might happen, but it can also be that we have to change things. It can simply be that we have to reschedule the test because it doesn't work out the way it was planned. We have, of course, assistants available. I think you are a teaching assistant, right? For mechanics, great. But she doesn't know what your problem is until you tell her, I have a problem. So, that's very important. You are much more in the lead now to be proactive. She's not going to run around here with the tables and see, did you do the thing and where did you get stuck? You have to come. Yeah. That holds for all lectures, holds for all the teaching assistants. Study advisors are of course there to help you with study-related or personal problems. Keep up with the information. Actually this year there's a new rule. You have to read your email regularly. And this is the email address that we have given to you. So you cannot say, oh, I didn't see the mail because I don't read mail. That's no excuse. Yeah. Canvas, our learning system, is most important source of information. If on campus, stick to the time slots. We will instruct employees to come here before 8:45, so that you can enter before 9. So, don't come too early, but also don't come too late, because at some time others have to enter. Yeah? And especially the thing, do not come too early will not be a big problem for most of you, but do not come too late could be a more challenging thing. And especially look out for each other. And with this I mean not repulsive look out for each other, but also take care of each other. Yeah? You are a community, you are the ones that have to get advice from others how they are doing. And if they don't feel well, try to interact with them and try to get things well. Yeah, and it can simply be, have a talk with Louis, have a talk with Simone, have a talk with Eline, have a talk with me, have a talk with Thijs, have a talk with Jan, do good parents, etc. Yeah?
Jan will be there often at ask time, and he is, he's not an official counselor, but you can always,
yeah?
he has a big heart.
Yeah, and that's also why we have these Wednesday evening sessions. I simply keep calling them evening sessions because they are very early of the evening. Initially, as I said, difficult because very often we have nice activities on Wednesday evening. That's why we have it only until a certain time slot, so it perfectly combines.
Nice.
Yeah? Okay. How do we keep you informed? Canvas, of course, the online learning environment. We put on there module information, of course materials. We have a specific AT Canvas page with the information from the program staff. We will add you to the Canvas page this next week. For the module Canvas page, you have to enroll yourself. How do you enroll with this? Well, in principle, you've got your student number and you've got a password. That should be enough to enroll on Canvas. How to do this? The dogroup parents know exactly how this goes, especially because this year we changed the way it goes. So they also have to find it out a little bit, but they will be able to guide you through. Yeah? But you will have to enroll for that. The page is open already, there's not enough information yet on it, but make sure you're on it, and so that you know Monday, what should I do? We have activities on campus, if possible. We have, of course, a quarterly newsletter. The quarterly newsletter, we typically tell you how did education go last quarter, what are we going to change for the next quarter. There are also things like scholarships, certainly for second, third year students would be very interesting to know how you can get money to get abroad. But there are many other things that are inside there. And of course, your email. We try to limit the number of emails, but still, the moment we send an email, it can be a very important information for you. Okay. By the way, does everybody have a computer? Availability of a computer? Who not? You have a possibility to solve this?
I'm not sure. Maybe I can borrow one account.
Okay. Yeah. Because then I'm already at my second bullet over here. Make sure you have a laptop and a stable internet connection. When we started with online education, we had a few students who said, I do not have internet in my student home. Then you have serious problems. How did we solve this? Well, this building has been open, has never been closed. just to have a facility for students that have a problem being at home and not being able to study there. Either too noisy neighbors, or simply have no internet. You can come then over here and sit down. There's only a handful over here at that time last year, but that's a possibility. And we have the library in the Vrijhof, that's also opened up. So there are always spaces available, but it's a limited number. Yeah. Smartphone can already help you through a little bit, but it's going to be tricky. And certainly because you first times you have to know what is my study material, and you would have to have a little bit bigger screen. Now the nice thing about this tablet is actually it works on Windows, it works on Apple, it works also on my Android tablet and also on an Android telephone. So at least you can write a small formula if you have an Android thing. That's also why we bought it. And it should also work with a Chromebook. If you have a Chromebook, you can also get quite a while. Yeah. And the moment you really run into trouble with a laptop, let us know. Of course, we cannot provide you with a laptop, but we can at least see what is possible to go around this, and to at least have the burden as small as possible. Okay, online education. We use different platforms. Anybody knows Discord by any chance? Yep. Okay, so we adopted this platform as a way for online learning because it's very easy to make virtual tables to sit on and get help, communication, etc. So that's one. So we have a timetable sitting over here. Check your online schedule regularly because there can be changes. As for the mechanics module, so I already said this, and actually we introduced Microsoft Teams 1st of March last year as a pilot, or this year as a pilot, and after 2 weeks it became the only serious option left to communicate within the university, and it was scaled up in an amazing speed. And this summer students were put also inside Microsoft Teams, and so that they can also make use of many of the facilities in there. But we still have to find out how this precisely works. So also with this, if you have great ideas about this, let us know so that we can share this. Okay, those are practical matters. Where should you be? Well, online, that's all up to you. Monday is our online day. So Monday there's nothing, none of you has to be on campus. On Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, there's half of the day, there is half of you will be on campus. Of course, 25% will do a project on campus, 25% will do a practical. So, yeah. When you're on campus, you typically have to be in Carré on floor 2, Carré 2K for the project. Now, unfortunately, you are not allowed yet into Carré, but Monday you are, Tuesday I should say. Carré floor 2, you get through the main entrance and it's directly the level you enter at. Carré is a little bit a strange building. Level 1 is a rather difficult level to access, and you immediately enter on the second level, at least if you go to the main entrance. On the third floor, you have room for project rooms. We have a general purpose over there. Estine is sitting there, and we are sitting here over there. And on the fourth floor, we have the practicals. And it's the fourth floor, it's the north side. And if you ask yourself, what's the north side of the building? It's where it's a little bit cooler. If it's in the winter, you might say it's the place where you could freeze, but you can certainly notice the difference in the buildings, what is north and south. And otherwise, look at the sun. Yeah? Okay. This year we want to start with a portfolio. One of the things we hope to learn you when you are here and when you get your bachelor's diploma is that you have grown as an academic, that you know what master you want to do or what you want to do something else. That's a very challenging thing, and we have to prove that you learned it, and that's even more difficult, because how are we going to learn? prove that you learned these things? Well, we have a lot of assignments already in place which can actually do this. Very simple. At some point you will choose an elective. Choosing an elective is what kind of master am I interested in. So we get all this information and we want to put this in a portfolio, and we'll add also different information from this. Things you like to show to others. For this is what I can. This is what I master. For instance, you learn a different language, programming language. You did a soccer bike, then you want to be able to let others see that you did this. So this can be added to it. So there's both curriculum and extracurricular activities that we will put in there. Most assignments are formulated already, but the platform we learned 2 weeks ago is not yet available due to European American privacy issues. And we are fighting a little bit still about this, how to make these contacts. But we'll get this running anyway. Okay, the assignments are there. The assignments are simply in Canvas. You will not notice anything that is there, except that at some point it will pop up into a total environment. Okay, that's it. That's what I wanted to talk about. So, tomorrow there's a meet the teacher scheduled tomorrow morning. We have ice cream there.
Yes. Ice cream.
And lunch.
Probably also the tablets.
Yeah, we have to see.
Yeah. We have to see.
Yeah.
What else? Teachers.
Yeah.
We have apples and oranges.
And you?
With water. With us.
Yes.
The same duo.
Yes, the two of us again.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe you can chat with us.
So, okay. Okay, questions so far? Any questions?
Everyone gets those tablets.
Yeah. I've got 250.
That's like
So actually last week I got 500 rolled into our floor.
How do you connect them to a laptop?
There's a USB cable and there is 3 connectors, a typical USB A, USB C and a, what's it called, the lightning. No, not lightning.
Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt is a type of USB slot.
It's the
I think it's
it's the mini, I don't know what it is, but it's the what you typically find on telephones and it's the mini USB.
Oh, micro USB.
Yeah.
Do we have to return them?
Nope.
It's your property.
Your property.
But you have to make sure that it stays whole so you can use it for tests, etc.
Yeah. That's why I tried to get a sleeve attached to it, so there's also a pen, there's a cable that it keeps around. This is the kind of sleeve we will buy for this. You will also get it. It's a question of money. How much do I have to register and then I have to make a deposit from you, and then how do I administer this? So the cost for that is far too high. These things is a different matter because these are serious money. But at some point, this one depends on whether we go in lockdown, yes or no. And then it will be through a deposit arrangement because they are simply a little bit too expensive for that. Yeah.
But is it a calculator?
No, it's an oscilloscope and signal generator. So you can get electrical signals out of this.
Looks like a calculator.
It does look like a calculator.
It looks like a calculator, but it's going to be very, very different.
It's more fake.
Normally it's a big machine, indeed. But this is a little bit handier. It works on a Windows computer, so we have to. One of the practical teachers is trying it also on his Apple. It makes connection, but he has to go see it how to go through. Yep. Anything else?
Well, supposed to general purpose evenings are very popular.
Yeah.
What are you going to do if there's like 65 of us there?
Very good. We have Carré 3C, 39 people will fit in officially over there. Around those are a few different lecture halls which are not used, so you can have this. And just a step around the corner is our home base, and our home base has normally 150 places to sit. So that's what we're going to use then. So it's an overflow. And the moment you go to the home base, Stein has their corner over there. So it's simply overflow. And please make use of this overflow because it makes it much more a social event than a real studying event. And we also need a little bit the social aspects.
I think it's also depends on how things are going.
Yeah.
Because I think we should be careful, so it could also be decide to put on some sign-up lists so that you need to sign up for one of the meetings. So that could also be.
So we still have to work that out a little bit, and at least we scheduled it. And the other way was to get a lecture hall in a very different building, and then you simply missed the connection. That's possible. Yeah. We did it on Wednesday afternoon for 2 reasons. Of course, it helps that Edstein has also their activities on that evening. The second reason is on Wednesday afternoon we have a practical scheduled for a quarter of you, and for another quarter we have a project on campus. So already half is in principle on campus. The other half will have to come specifically. But this, well, was the best. Otherwise it would have been Friday evening, and the Friday evening was not seemed to be the best one.
But then you wouldn't have like problems with the amount of people there, so
Yeah.
there's always an upside.
There's always an upside, yes. The glass can be half empty and it can be half full. Yeah? Okay, any else? No? Well, enjoy the rest of your kick-in. Hope to see you tomorrow again, tomorrow morning. When we do we have to see if I wait for the sleeve. I hope today, if we get them soon, then we'll do it together.
Yeah.
And otherwise, we'll try to see if we can get them tomorrow.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, well,
Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, that's it.
Yes.
Woo!
So I think that now you're all going to your separate place to do the books ECT. But before you go, I think Fresh Beats, who won yesterday's pub quiz, is also here.
Hi.
So who wants to receive the amazing giant sprinkler? Here you go. Congratulations.
Ja. Ja, nou, het was gezellig, jongens.
Ja, dat was leuk. Mooi.
Ja.
Ja,